Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I don't know what happened there.
We had nuggets of the weekend. What happened there?
Something's going on. Welcome to Finnegan's.
There's gremlins in the system, Tom.
We've
had a mare.
Do you know what happened is... Oh, classic Alan Finnegan, classic. This is what Alan does every time. Like, turn it off. You know what happened is...
I didn't put it on. You left it on my phone.
It's like having your granddad everywhere.
Who used my phone last?
I used your phone. What
did you use my phone for?
It is painful, honestly. It's like
he used my phone to share this.
Yeah.
And then he left it on and passed me it back.
So I have to turn the volume down for you and everything.
I honestly think that wasn't my fault.
Help the aged. That's what this feels like.
Yeah. You've had a mare today. Don't be on about me.
I have a mare today. Do you know what? Maybe you're like us. Maybe you've had a nightmare today and just come in and join us in Finnegan's for the evening.
I'm having a nightmare.
Come and join us, hang out.
Yeah.
Look after old people, give them something to do.
We're drinking Brewdog. It's called Lost. So it must be Lost Dog.
Well, it's having an effect on me.
Yeah, obviously.
I feel lost
you
after
are lost.
all this.
We were supposed to interview Gav Calver today, weren't we?
We were.
That went wrong.
Didn't work. He looked at us like we were...
Tom was supposed to get a lintel for his extension. No.
Didn't happen.
That didn't happen. What else did you break?
I don't know. It's been one
my heart. You broke my will. That's what you've done today.
Oh, well.
Anyway, how's your week been? Put your comments in.
Let us know what you've been up to, how you're doing.
I've had a fab week. I've been falling over all week, Tom.
Alan's genuinely been dizzy, having dizzy spells.
Dizzy, my head is spinning.
Keep going.
Like a whirlpool, it's spinning round. Yeah, honestly, being bad. Yeah. Every time I lean down, I like go.
Again, that's. I've got to be honest. There's an element of that.
Like
which
it. You're
is
laughing.
funny.
You're laughing when it happens, aren't you? When in the man's room we were trying to fix the skateboards and I was just on the floor.
There he goes again. He's just out in the spirit.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, if I do literally fall over in front of you, assume it isn't charismania. Yeah. Assume I've fainted. Okay.
Call an ambulance.
Don't just say more, Lord. Okay, please.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, that's not good, Alan's. I'm telling you to go to the doctor.
I can't be bothered going to doctors. What's the point?
Well,
my dad said to me, the doctors, you may as well save a few things up so when you get there, you get your money's worth. You know what I mean?
They won't listen to more than one thing. I love the NHS and I'm not getting on doctors at all. Clap for them. I did as much clapping as anyone else. But if you try and go to the doctors with more than one complaint, they just, that's it. There's like bouncers come in and whisk you out. So you have to line them up one after the other, one thing after another.
Doctors, I don't know what's happening.
You need to get to the doctors.
Yeah,
if people could, instead of Googling your symptoms, what we should do is just have all of our nuggets at home just text us what they think it could be.
It might be the Brewdog.
Yeah. If anyone's got any leftover medication at home that would sort Alan out, post it in.
Oh dear. You're taking a chance saying that to some of these nuggets.
That's it. Who knows what will be?
Who knows what will happen?
Out there.
No, the last time we said that, Tom. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Mikey's straight in. Mikey says Alan needs way more reverb when he's singing. We're asking Ian about that tonight because my wife always says more reverb the better, but for you, I think never enough.
Okay.
Never enough. Oh, here we go.
What?
Mandy saying ear infection, maybe.
Ear infection.
Could be Mandy. What have you got any drugs for that? What would that be? What do you do for an ear infection? I don't know.
Stop poking pins down them. That might help, mightn't it?
You do. Oh, okay. All right. Let's get into this because one of the most troubling things that I found out about Alan since I've been here is often in the office, Alan, I'll be diligently working. But but Alan will spend quite a long time on his fantasy football team and he's still only barely scraping
we'll
above
get on
me.
to that, won't we? We'll get on to that in a minute.
Secondly, he also spends at least an hour a day with a needle cleaning out his ears.
I've got itchy ears.
It's disgusting.
I've got itchy ears.
It is disgusting.
It's not. You don't have to look at me. You can clear it off.
Oh, well.
Get your own end of the office.
Evening, Anne. How are you doing? Laura's in. Laura is in. And Laura's going to be our guest next week.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to having Laura on. She's going to be ace.
Apparently, she's the funny one of the family.
We've been promised she's funnier than Mikey.
We have.
We're looking forward to that. So Laura's going to be with us next week. Evening, Anne. Evening. Mandy, a needle. Yeah.
A needle. Yeah, that works. See?
So if you're watching tonight, give us a little hello. I'm sure we've got some of Ian's fans in. In fact, Miriam said she's your number one fanny. So they're already in. They're in.
She is.
And so we're it's great. We're gonna have Ian.
I think you
in
can
tonight.
get an injunction for that, mate. If you want.
We have. I don't know if Dan, are you watching? Because Dan was Tony's number one fan, wasn't he?
He was Tony's number one fan.
Tony said he did have to get an injunction, I think, to Dan. So it's a bit awkward.
Block delete.
But I'll give Dan his number anyway. Why not?
I'll give him his address. I've got his address if you want it, Dan.
Go ahead, boys. Who's this? I don't know.
Who's that? I don't know. Who's that?
Degsy. Hello, Degsy.
Must be someone Ian knows.
Do you know a Degsy?
Degsy what?
No.
I'll say yeah. Just
say yes. He's like, yeah, he was my best mate. Nice to have Degsy. Nice to have you in, mate. Let us know who you are.
Let us know who you are, yeah.
And my Elijah's watching, says Arsenal have already scored. Thank you, Elijah, for that. Keep those updates coming, and I imagine let us know the Liverpool ones as well.
Liverpool, I'm not expecting much from the Liverpool.
Not expecting much.
We won't talk about football while Ian's in because he's an Evertonian.
He's a blue.
He is a blue. But what have you been up to this week?
Well, wait a second. Hold your horses, Grandad. So, welcome to Finnegan's. The whole idea of this basically is, I think we enjoy going down the pub, don't we?
Yeah.
Especially you might go with your mates to the pub.
Yeah.
And when you go to the pub, you do all sorts of fun things. You diagnose your mates' medical issues.
Yeah.
You chat about the football. You talk about and often you solve.
You give them terrible advice.
You give them terrible advice. Often you solve the problems of the world. You talk about what the meaning of existence is. And so we thought, why don't we? What me and Alan might do down the pub. Let's open it up to everyone else and
pull up a chair.
Hang out with us for the evening. Me and Alan are Baptist ministers, which is. It's shocking, really, but it's a thing.
It is a thing.
So,
the standards are pretty low, as you can see. It is a low bar, really low.
But we both do have degrees, don't we?
We do have degrees.
Firsts, both of us.
Yeah.
So there you go. Have that.
Yeah.
They tried to kick us out.
They tried to kick us out, but we were too clever for them. There you go. Yeah.
You've got the thing though, haven't you? Dyslexia.
I've got everything.
They give you 10 hours to do the exam.
I've got everything.
Give you Google to answer the questions.
Yeah. They have a little scribe to write for you if you want.
He was really clever, your one, obviously.
He was dead clever. I picked the Archbishop of Canterbury as my scribe.
And so tonight we're going to do just that. We've got Ian in. Ian's a singer-songwriter from Liverpool. He's a really good lad.
Fab.
And he's going to come and talk to us a bit about his life, about faith, about his music. And so we're going to chat about that. But you can pick up on all of the old episodes as well. So last week we had Andy Kind on.
We did.
Andy was great. I really enjoyed having...
Particularly his story about really...
Working out
chiseled chest,
working out in the
stuff.
gym and all that. And
that was very good.
And our nugget of the week was Even. Here we go.
And we got him. There he is.
There he is.
Look at him.
Josh Dignam. Look how made up he looks with that.
Look at him. He said to us when he came, and he said, because you get a chance to be on the wall later, right?
Yeah.
And he said, so does my name go on the wall? I said, no.
No.
Get out.
It doesn't count that much. But he did get that hat, which he's rocking there, isn't he? Look at that, because I thought not many people could wear that.
I couldn't wear that hat.
But he looks good with that. And he's got Andy's book hidden in plain sight.
And he's got the nugget.
And he's got the nougat.
Nugget, yeah.
Because
he's not a Tory.
So there we go. So you could be Nugget of the Week this week. So the way it works is each week we give a prize to one of our listeners out there. And so this week, fantastically, Ian has brought a couple of his albums. So here we've got Mystery, which is the one before this latest one, isn't it, E?
Yep.
So I'm on it. And then we've got Between the Joy and the Sorrow, which is 2 parts on one CD. So we're giving these away to our Nugget of the Week, and you'll get yourself a nougat
as well.
So here you go. So basically, you need to be on it at home. Don't be just sitting there watching, not engaging, not saying anything. You got to be throwing some comments in the mix and giving us a bit of banter.
And we picked the funniest or the best comments.
We picked the funniest or the best.
It's just the best.
The best.
The most relevant best, but often the funniest as well.
Chuck some in and we'll see. We can get you one of these. And you can find this online as well, can't you?
Yep.
So we're getting to all that.
We'll get a link with that for it later.
We'll do all that.
Fantastic. He's on everything, Spotify a lot, isn't he?
He is. He's got ticked all those bases. So what have you been up to this week, Al?
May have told you I'm falling over. That's what I've been up to, Tom. Not a lot. Falling over and they're cancelling gigs.
Tell me about
comedy gigs.
So why are you cancelling gigs?
Just can't be bothered, son.
Do you know
they're
what?
Just too far away, some of them, aren't they? I was supposed to do a gig, and they mightn't even know I've cancelled yet. They're going to find out if they're watching. And he does watch sometimes. It was somewhere on sea, Frinton on sea.
Yeah.
I've been before. I should have known when I booked it this time. I should have said, nah, it takes 8 hours to get there.
I think you accept gigs without even knowing where you're going or where it is.
I do occasionally.
And then you realise they're paying you like 30 quid and it's going to cost you
10
quid in petrol.
And things like that. No, that was actually an all right paid one, but it's just too far, isn't it? 8 hours.
But why did you say yes in the first place then?
What I thought was I'd go down there, I'd take Joyce with me, we'll stay over. Therefore, it'll cost me nothing to have a little night away. I'll do the gig, take her the free gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll come home the next day. But she didn't want to go,
so you just binned it off.
So, well, I don't feel very well, and I don't think I'm funny anymore. I'm having one of them. I'm having one of them crises here, you know where you've like writer's block or something. I've got like nobody laughs block. And then I cancelled another one on Vino.
Tony Vino. Like,
Vino,
come down here.
I feel bad. Shut up.
Sat in this bar, like for no money. Offered you paid gig, and you binned him off.
And I did text him back and say, no, I feel bad. I'll do it. I'll do it because me face is on the poster and everything. So
wow.
And he was like, no, it's okay, mate.
Tony Vino
lovely.
Is so
he's
nice,
lovely.
Isn't he?
He's too nice.
Really nice.
He's too nice. And although he does give me some rubbish gigs as well, where you end up getting more money than me.
Well, that's all
How does
part
that
of
happen?
it, isn't
when
it?
you don't even know them, you don't even turn up, and you end up getting all the money.
That's all part of it, mate. That's all part of the plan.
I must have been terrible in a previous life.
Mate.
What?
You're a Christian minister. You don't believe in that reincarnation stuff.
We didn't do that in our... Well, in our college, we did do it, actually. You say that. Our college was boss. Proper liberal.
Don't get into that. Right, okay, let's have a look. So Mikey is saying, Tom, you need to do a Saliba chant for my mate Charlie. Saliba! Very good. Okay, let's see.
Where's he scored? Was it him who scored?
He's probably not playing, is he? He's probably not playing. Degsy said he was he knows Yvonne. He knows Ian's mum.
There you go.
There we go. So that's the connection there. Nice to have you watching, Degsy. Thanks for joining us. So very good. Tal's in. Nice to see you, Tal. Alan's had his humerus removed. Very nice.
Is that Tal?
No, that's Ray.
Was that Ray? Ah, right.
Ray's got some dad jokes, hasn't he, Ray?
Yeah, he's got some dad jokes.
You can throw them out.
My mate today.
Tal's done one as well. She said, "Don't worry, Al, you're still funny looking." Mikey says,
I'm not going to save you from the Tory next time, Tal. You know when he's abusing you and pushing you over and all that like he did the other day?
Easy.
I'm not going to save you.
Well, what's funny is...
I'm going to turn the other eye.
If you don't know, Tal works at the church in the grocery, and Tal, whenever I arrive at work, which to be fair is normally after her, she hides around the building and then just jumps out at me to terrorise me at an appropriate moment.
The Pink Panther, not now, Kato.
I think
not now, Tal. You don't even know what I'm on about.
Again, one of those old people references.
You know the Pink Panther, don't you?
Well, of course we've heard the Pink Panther.
And you've heard of Kato.
No.
The servant fella who was a servant fella, and he used to jump out of the fridge and that at him, because he was trying to train him.
Oh, Alan, it's so boring. How old are you?
How old are you?
Kato.
You haven't seen any of the classics, lad. You haven't lived. All you used to spend your life on YouTube watching stupid gamers. We watch proper programmes.
Kato.
Alan's
not funny anymore. Mikey says, Alan's not funny anymore. I'm crap at fantasy football, and Tom's banter game is on point, and he's good at fantasy football. What is going on in the world? Well,
I'm above him, though, Mikey, and you. And I've still got 300 points on you, don't forget, because you gave me an extra 300 points at the beginning. So whatever I'm ahead of you, add 300 points to that. Game on.
Let's welcome Ian to the... Ian, mate, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Do you know what? Ian... I'm so pleased you've come on, Ian.
So I am.
And Ian,
we're in a ranty mood, and you're going to bring it right back down. No, it's to normality. You know, it's going to be good. You're going to sort us two out.
He is.
Because us two are having a domestic tonight, aren't we?
We are. Hey. Just move. Can you still read that if I put that like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is that better?
I don't know. Ian, tell us. Ian, I mean, Ian's got that familiar look of being like, I
is going on
I
here?
wished I'd watched more of this before I agreed to do this.
Why did I only watch the 90-second clips?
I've watched a few.
Have you?
Yeah.
On TikTok
YouTube.
or YouTube? Nice.
And I've
nice.
known Alan for a very long time,
We have.
so I know what I'm in for.
So what? How did you guys meet then? What was the deal with Alan?
Shall I go first and then
You go first. Yeah.
I'll go first then. So
From Alan's perspective.
This is my perspective. Like, we ended up in some room ended up getting roped into white kids to do Easter People's Conference. It was the last time Easter people asked white kids to do their conference. I wonder why.
So what is Easter People, like a Christian
Easter People was like a
festival or
Christian
something?
festival over Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Methodist one.
Nice.
So set the bar, right? And they were doing the kids' work, which had a big hall, and we met at that. You were at the worship bands, and then other bits and pieces, which we might get into later. I don't know, but that's where we first met. And me and you were Ratty and Stinky.
Yeah.
And I actually think we were the best Ratty and Stinky ever.
I
mean,
what is Ratty and Stinky?
we were puppets.
Yeah, puppets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Class.
Come on, carry on.
Do you know what I think? There's a spin. Has that stopped now as a church thing? Puppets, because that was a big thing for a while, wasn't it, in churches?
Yeah, because we got tellies.
Kids were
You were
like,
telling me I'm old.
kids were like, I'm not putting up with that anymore.
Yeah.
Any of that puppet nonsense.
Flannel graphs.
So how was Alan as a puppet, Ian? What do
Well,
you make of it?
my first memory of Alan is before that.
Is it?
Oh,
Kevin
go on.
Lee.
Kevin.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about Kevin Lee.
And-
Yeah.
I must have been 15, 16, and I played guitar, and you were leading the worship.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
So I inspired
Can
you.
you?
You were the reason.
Am I
am
your
today, what I'm doing.
inspiration? Unlucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what is amazing? I've only ever heard. I know Alan only knows one song, and it's "Gangster's Paradise." So can you imagine how that worship session went down?
Like, I only knew a few chords, if that.
Oh.
So
We smashed it. Anyway,
it was brilliant.
we must have, if you were involved, we must have smashed it.
Yeah. Well, so you used to sing on mic, did you? Not just for laughs, but for real.
Not quite like I only done it once. It's like everything I do, Tom. I do it once, and then I don't get invited
And
back.
no one asked you to do it
Yeah,
again.
it's that kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I forgot about Kevin Lee. Yeah, I knew you from Kevin Lee. Yeah.
I think you were really into it as well with the singing. It was good.
Was he?
Yeah.
Did he give it the old close the eyes and like proper
Everything.
lift the hand and all that?
Must have.
Wow, I
I
love
know
it.
how to
Good
do it, you
taste,
know.
then. Good
I know how
taste.
to.
Yeah.
I know how to act, you know.
Go on. my wife Emma said, did Alan speak to you when you first met him, Ian? Because Alan famously kind of is shy. He says he's shy, but it's just to hide the fact that he's grumpy and he doesn't want to speak to anyone. So would he speak to you?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. It was a
I'm
while
quite
ago.
quiet if I don't know people. You
Yeah.
see, he doesn't get this. Soft lad here, but
Yeah, I can't remember.
because he just smiles at everyone and talks to everyone.
Well,
you know?
that's
You know.
it.
And then he's grumpy when they're not there. You know what I mean? But at least I'm grumpy to their face.
I think Charlie.
Who's the hypocrite?
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Oh,
well,
you're
I'm
backing
sorry.
out of this conversation.
No,
now,
I'm
aren't
reading
you?
the chat, and I'm reading
right.
the chat and getting distracted. I can't do
No,
things
yeah.
as
So
well.
we did Easter People. We were Ratty and Stinky. We were
Comedy duo. Well, you were the funny one. I
two
wasn't
comedy duo. We had a ball, didn't we? I mean, who thought it'd be a good idea to give me a puppet and hide me behind a screen with a microphone? Who thought that was going to end well?
So you could basically say whatever you want.
Yeah,
with
because
complete anonymity.
it was a puppet. Yeah.
So what did they have you doing? Like,
We interviewed Why Friday. We said we called them Why I Friday, didn't we?
I believe it was their worst interview ever.
really?
You've met him since, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Well, someone told me they said to them it was the worst interview you've ever had. It was really bad, wasn't it? Because the bass player as well. Alan was asking him all, and he didn't speak, did he? And his face went red, and he just froze, and you just ripped him, ripped him to shreds.
I said something about him, his jeans. Just can't you mar soul patches on them, lads? What's the matter with you? And then I said, your haircut. are you going back to get that finished? He's asking them all sorts, isn't he? And it was a funny interview. They tried to strangle us at the end. I think one of them tried to grab the rat.
What, like as a joke, but really a bit of aggression behind it.
Then we had another fella. Who was that fella with the frog?
Yeah, the guy with a frog,
There was a guy with a frog who was an awful ventriloquist, wasn't he? I don't know. We shouldn't say his name, even if I could remember it. But he was awful. He was absolutely awful. And we took the mickey out of him. Didn't he say something about he was eating Uncle Joe's mint balls? And I went, easy.
Wow.
And then we had certain words we had to get in every interview and that.
Yeah.
Remember that? And we were interviewing quite a serious interview. And we had to get inconglomerates in. Remember that? And we right in the middle of the interview, we just went to inconglomerates. And he went, what? We went, don't worry about it, mate. Just move on. It was brilliant. Were you one of the bouncers, weren't you? Was you a bouncer?
I don't think I was a bouncer.
Oh, was
but
it
our
Andy?
friend Ian was one of the bouncers.
Ian was one, yeah.
But they had him walking around with
A red ribbon.
red ribbons, didn't he?
What? Why? Why was he with
Ian
a-
Todd,
Ian Todd, yeah.
with a red ribbon dressed as a bouncer, doing worship dancing.
Going around the room.
Ah.
Wish you had a video
So
of that,
you
didn't
wish
you?
that mobile phones were a thing back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'd have missed out on so much good stuff there.
Andy
Howard
Howard,
we thought it was.
No, that's
It's
it.
the other thing, but yeah. It was,
Yeah.
Andy Howard throwing himself down the stairs to get a free flask of coffee. Remember that?
What was he thinking? What was he?
He doesn't think that, lad,
How
does
did
he?
he equate that with getting a free coffee? What did he think was going to happen?
Because he wouldn't sue them for falling down the stairs. Hey, come on, Tom.
I think he fancied the
I think he
girl
did,
as
yeah.
well. He was saving the coffee.
I think he fancies everyone, doesn't he?
I couldn't say.
You couldn't, but I will.
Here we go. We'll move on now. Although Ray's smashing it for Nugget of the Week. He's put Andy Howard was a bouncer down the stairs.
Oh,
Hey!
I like it, right? I
Very
like
good,
it.
very good. Very good.
Yeah.
He'd do anything for free stuff, says Mandy. Very good, very good. Hey, tell us, mate, a little bit about yourself and what you're up to in that. Singer songwriter. It's like 6 albums, now. You've done 6 albums, which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about how you.
So, well, I'm married to Kate, and
Nice.
we've got 3 kids. Jackson, who's 8, Elijah, who's 6, and Abaya, who's 3.
I've got an Elijah too.
You got Elijah.
How old's your Elijah?
6.
6.
How old's yours?
12.
12.
Nice, good ages.
So the last few years have been a bit interesting, but that's another story.
They'll get a lot more interesting, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
for both of yous.
I was preaching at a church in Manchester, which I have to do every so often. And I was just saying how, they were a little bit quiet. And, sometimes you go to churches, I don't know if you've been to church or not, but sometimes you can talk and it's dead quiet. You can hear a pin drop. You can't tell if people are really engaging with it or not.
Yeah.
And others you can go and it's a bit like people, they're engaged, they say stuff. This one was quiet, right? Until I started talking about being a dad. And I said, being a dad's actually, it's really hard, isn't it? I find it really difficult at times. I'm a minister, so I'm supposed to have all, maybe I'm supposed to be a perfect dad. I'm definitely not. Find it really hard. And that was the first time I got an amen from just a woman. On the front row, just looked knackered and fuming and was like,
worn out.
Amen. Preach it, brother.
Just tell her there's another 10 years of that left.
Well, Alan's not one of those good news parents because he says it gets more difficult. Although I would say he is like best friends almost with his kids now. They go on holiday together and all that stuff. So you're living the dream.
We got there eventually. You get what I mean?
But there was some tough years.
After the early 20s, it sort of gets better then.
Yeah.
Well, probably 25's the cut-off then.
Yeah.
If it's not getting better, then just ditch them.
Just
Move
on.
Just move. Yeah, just move
Move on.
Yeah,
Try
just
again.
get yourself other kids.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Go on, Ian. Sorry, we interrupted you, mate.
Yeah, so I've been doing music since I was like a teenager, and
Clearly inspired by me.
inspired by you, Alan.
Thank
so
you.
That's the. That's
Sorry.
No, it's good. So, and then there was a Christian band called Delirious, and
Yes.
I went to see them. It was quite good. There was a youth group in Bootle, different churches, and they took a load of us to Manchester to see Delirious there, and that was, I guess, a very inspirational moment after yourself, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Up there with Delirious. I don't mind
up
that,
there, yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll take that. So yeah, so that night it was just like, I guess for me, a first experience of seeing what I thought was really great music, and also this thing which I'd call the presence of God.
Yeah.
and seeing them together, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, and kind of, I guess that desire in my heart to maybe be involved in that one day kind of started there. So,
and so that, I guess that, because I've experienced that as well, you know, where you can, there's something about I think even people who maybe don't believe in God or whatever would say there's something about musical that is powerful. Music that is powerful, not musicals. They're terrible.
They are terrible. Evita. Oh, kill me now.
There's something about music.
Oh,
that is
3 hours long. Kill me now. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm crying. Never mind. Sorry, Tom. You've got me in the right mood.
You're
tonight.
due another dizzy spell, aren't you? Then
Yeah.
maybe we could have a chat for a while.
Get me to look down for something. I'll be done in.
Yeah, that's it. You
Sorry.
pick that pen up for me, please, Al, and it just becomes, that's it. Here you go. But
Oh, sorry, I'll shut up.
no, music. There's something about music that can be powerful, and for Christians as well. Like there's that time, I guess, where we sing in church and sing, but that actually you kind of experience God in that. And is that's something of what you felt or you experienced that time when you're watching that band?
yeah, definitely, that's what I experienced. I was like, wow, there's something different about this, something I've never experienced before, and really impacted me. So
Yeah.
Yep. Well, what you want is, you want it not to be just singing, don't you? I mean, singing can be powerful. You go to a concert sometimes, you know, you sing, there'll be songs that'll put the hairs on your back of your neck, or put a football ground, or, you know what I mean, at times. And so singing's powerful in itself. But when you're at church, and sometimes you can go through the motions, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even want to be there, and you're singing some songs and you're thinking, I can't be bothered and all that. But you want it to be more than just a sing song. You want it to be what you talked about, where the presence of God comes, or you sensed the presence of God, as we would say.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's the hope for every worship session. We don't have live worship. We use an iPad, so it's a bit more limited for us at the moment. But definite times when you don't just want it to be singing, just singing. That's okay sometimes, but that's what I would say about music. Anyway, sorry.
No. I think that's. I get so there was something to you that was attractive about that. Were you like playing music at that time already, or was that something that at that point that kicked you off and thought, do you know what, I want to do that?
Yeah, I was probably playing a few chords on the guitar, but nothing serious. But then really started getting into it and started a band and really got into it then.
Nice.
So, yeah.
He's now got a better job than us.
What?
I didn't think that was possible.
What's the job now?
Well, he's a worship leader, isn't he? That's got to be better than what we do.
Well, if you can get that kind of gig, I think
That's what I mean. If you can get that gig, that's a good gig to get.
It's
that
a
one.
good gig, that one.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
And so you've been in Scotland for the last couple of days. So you lead in worship and at a conference there. And so that's part of what you do now is with your music.
Yeah. So the last 7 years, been doing music full time. So I work for the Elim group of churches.
Nice.
With Elim Sound, which is the worship department for the UK and the globe, really, for Elim, so I do that part time, and then my own music part time, and starting now to get a few more opportunities again to travel because since COVID, it's kind of all gone out the window. But
you were part of that the Blessing song, weren't you?
Yeah.
Which that was shown on the news and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, people might know that even if they're not familiar with church songs. But you were part of that song. What was that like?
It was quite funny, actually. So one of the guys who messaged me to say, will you be on it? I thought, I don't really want to, go and get a camera set up and sing it. I was like, I don't really want to do it. And then I got a message saying, oh, Tim Hughes says, I've told Tim Hughes you're in. So I thought, I better do it, So Tim Hughes, for those who don't know about it, Tim Hughes was the guy who put it together. So his idea, really. So I thought
You can't say no to him, can you?
Couldn't say no.
No.
I wish I would have done my hair a bit nicer on the video and looked a bit smarter. But anyway,
Did you not think many people were going to watch it?
I didn't know what it was going to be really. But
It was massive, wasn't it?
It was incredible. Yeah,
It was massive.
Like thousands of people watch this worldwide today. Is it?
Must have been millions.
Oh, it's millions. Yeah,
Millions.
The comments, there's thousands. Like the comments are incredible. If you're ever feeling down in your faith, just read the comments on that because it's incredible.
Because it was in lockdown, wasn't it? When you all recorded it separately on little different Zoom screens, and someone obviously edited it all together. But I thought it was fab.
Yeah,
because I did online gigs in lockdown.
Yeah.
They're worse than me normal gigs, them ones. I'm not going to lie to you. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
They were. I know.
I saw some of yours.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Very good.
That's why I've given up. I'm going into singing.
Well, hey, Al will do you a turn. Do you need a song? He does a cracking Gangster's Paradise, does Alan?
Boom.
No, don't.
Oh,
We did
sorry.
that once.
Sorry.
We did that once.
I know we have, yeah.
Tell us about the new album, E.
Yeah, so this is amazingly my 6th album I've done, which is just a
6
privilege
albums.
like just amazing. I get to do it really.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the 6th one, and it's called Between the Joy and the Sorrow. It's basically about the last few years just living in the tensions of life's joys and sorrows, the highs and lows. I think most people experience some nice moments over lockdown, but also some really tough moments as well. So that was kind of the main inspiration behind it. And each song is kind of like a different theme, really, for what happened throughout that time. So yeah, it's in 2 parts. So we did the first part in June, and then the second part came out in September.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I guess, like, sometimes Christians have that danger of being like, everything's amazing. You know, I don't know if you come across them. I might have even been guilty of that myself at times, where you kind of like, because you're a Christian and you think, you know, there's this belief in a higher power and this sense that you have a relationship with God, but people think then that they've got to be permanently happy. That's where you fell down with the whole Christian thing, wasn't it? But
I was going to say something, but
I know, I thought I'll say something before you say something. That's what I thought. But that kind of honesty, and that's what I've really appreciated when I was listening to the album, is the honesty around some of your experience and faith, and how actually that it's not always going to be roses, like a bed of roses, but that actually your faith is still something that undergirds, like strengthens your life. Like, is there particular songs on the album that do speak to some of that?
Yeah, there's a few. I think we go through seasons, don't we? You have seasons in life when life's easy and feels great and maybe a bit happier. And then sometimes you have seasons where it's really, really tough. And yeah, there's a few songs. One song's about like anxiety. You know, over my life, I've gone through lots of different storms, but there was this one particular one that in lockdown which really affected me. And really, like, I had a panic attack, so I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. And I'd never really experienced that before. And that was like, wow, okay. And just kind of going through that, but like realizing in the past, God's got me through all this other stuff, and just believing that God's going to get me through that situation, you know. And it was really tough, it was really challenging. Yeah, I think we all go through different seasons and times. Like
yeah, I mean, it's that Footprints poem, isn't it? That often gets read at certain occasions, usually funerals and things like that, where, you know, for those who don't know what that is, look it up on Google, but look up Footprints poem. And it's basically a fella recounting, looking back at his life, and that there's 2 sets of footprints when he feels like God is with him all the time, walking with him. And then at the toughest times in his life, he notices there's only 1 set of footprints, and he's like, "Why did you leave me then?" And the spoiler alert is that he carried him basically. But it's that what you're saying, because of the past stuff that we kind of know. Them times when God has been there for us, we know we can count on him to be here in them times. Because I had a time when I just couldn't function. In fact, I ended up at your church during this time. I couldn't go to our church because everyone would want to talk to me, you know what I mean? And I was literally standing there crying, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I've got no idea what's going on here, right? So I took about 6 weeks off today. It was when you first came. They might be linked. I
thought I just rocked off and off he's going.
Yeah.
I thought,
And literally, I ended up in your church, and someone had a word for me in your church, which was good at the time. But so I know what you mean about these different seasons in your life, is what I'm saying. Because I had, in my idea, I had no reason to be feeling how I felt. I didn't know why. I'd literally be standing there and I'd just start crying. Wow. And I was like, and it wasn't a good cry. It was a depressed cry, you know what I mean? Some people came alongside me, good people, Dave Connolly being one of them, and literally just just sort of like put up with me for a bit until I got through it. Do you get what I mean? But you know your faith has got to be good in both of them times.
Yeah.
Them highs when everything feels amazing and everything you touch turns to gold. You know, them times when you're leading worship with young worship leaders. I don't even remember it, to be honest. But and then them times when it's really tough, you know, and you feel as low as you've ever felt, probably.
Yeah.
And that's what one of your songs is about. You're saying, sorry.
Yeah. And I think as well, when you look back on your life, when you go through seasons, as you say, you can see like, okay, at the time, I wasn't sure if God was with me, or I didn't know if I felt him. But you look back and you go, actually, God was there with me, and he's been faithful through that season. So,
and I think that's where we feel, that's where we feel a little bit nervous about even saying that at times, because I think we think it's like maybe doubting God or whatever, but there are definite times where I think, like maybe I can't sense God at this moment, and it feels like a tricky time. But I guess what I think then is that experience of having been a Christian for a number of years and like looking back and thinking, well, in these previous times when I've felt like either I've messed it up, I've made massive mistake and I've put myself in a mess, or I found myself in a mess through no fault of my own, but then actually ultimately found that God was there in that moment. Actually, weirdly, at times meets us even more powerfully than at other moments, which is just mind-boggling. I know Emma was on, and she went through a whole experience in lockdown of being in a wheelchair really with a slipped disc and just feeling completely like just like what we were all like, what is going on? Here, this is crazy. But for her, like one of those experiences where she felt God the nearest, which again is like, I guess what we would say as Christians is that's how God works, that he draws near to us.
You see it again and again and again in the Bible stories, don't you? It's not when it's often, I'm thinking of a few different stories in the Bible, but it's often in the tougher times that God's there then, and God's with them then. And, I'm thinking of Jacob, when he wrestles with God, when he's on his way to meet his brother's going to at least kick his head in, maybe kill him, right? But he ends up in this place on his own, and it says he wrestled with God, you know what I mean? And he leaves with a limp, which he had for the rest of his life, kind of thing. So it's them stories in the Bible that maybe sometimes we over spiritualize or gloss over, but they're real experiences of deep, like. It's Jesus in Gethsemane, isn't it? Where sweating blood instead of sweat. Do you get what I mean? It's them times of stress and
How did you deal with those things? I'm just interested. I've had a stressful day. Can you tell me? Like
writing songs, songs like just very good. Yeah, writing the songs like therapy for me. Like,
was it?
Yeah, and just like, and I was previously to that, I was really encouraged to be honest in my songwriting, and to like just go a bit deeper and kind of maybe ask those questions that maybe we were a little bit scared to ask, or we think, oh, can I really ask this, and so I was really encouraged by quite a few people to do that, and so I think that led me throughout the last few years to just be really honest. Like there's a song on there called If I'm Honest, and it says like, if I'm honest, like I don't know if you're here right now, God. You know what I mean? I don't feel you. But I think in those moments, it's trusting God in them really hard moments. It's just hard. It's so hard to do that. But my experience is that he always comes through. He might not come through the way I want him to. You know what I mean? Or like the idea like, oh, God should do this for me. But looking back, you go, God was with me, and God provided in that situation, or I felt God in that moment. So
Fabulous.
I love that.
I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Give it a listen.
That's it.
I might get nuggets of the week, mightn't I?
If you say something funny. We're still waiting.
I've got to type it, apparently. Can't just say something. No, I've got to type it.
And so we asked people how they came to faith, and for you, E, and I'm wondering whether, because I know that your dad is a minister, so like my dad was also a minister. So,
mine wasn't.
What was your dad?
He was a quantity surveyor.
There you go. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Better than being a minister.
Probably.
More money.
Better pay, yeah. But, we could probably do with some therapy for that, being kids of ministers. But for you, what was that point when you thought, God's real, or I'm not in this thing called life on my own? When did that happen for you?
Well, for me, I was actually born in Birmingham, and then when I was 7, I moved to Liverpool. So I've got a Scouse accent, and I think I'm a Scouser, but that's up for debate. Did I get the right accent or not? I think I did.
I think anyway. Do you know what? I think the Birmingham one is horrendous, isn't it?
I couldn't say that. You know what I mean? My dad's got
His dad's still got it.
But come on, let's be honest, Steve. That's not a good one, is it? Go on.
I think
I've heard a few words, you know.
I think when we did Ratty and Stinky, you were in a Birmingham accent.
I was in a Birmingham accent. I was.
You was?
Yeah.
Does that feel natural to you, Birmingham
I was
accent?
Ratty, by the way.
That makes sense.
You were Ratty and I was Stinky.
You were Stinky, yeah. But you did it in a Birmingham accent. I remembered as you said it,
Yeah,
sorry.
Remember that.
Is a Birmingham accent natural to you? Is it like because your dad's got it, you can turn it on?
I mean, rip me dad, you know, just like joke. We just do his accent for him. All right, or whatever, you know.
It's so bad, isn't it? No, I'm missing. I'm a southerner, aren't I? It's I
don't think we've got anyone watching from Birmingham.
No,
so you're all right.
No, we've been there.
You're all right. No one knows us, Tom. We're fine. We're in the secret location. We could be in Birmingham.
We could be in Birmingham, right?
No
on the
one
doorstop.
knows, you know. Yeah, doorstop.
Anyway, E, I was asking you a question.
No. So I was born there, and then when I was 5, my auntie and uncle did like a kids club at the church, and so at that kids club, I kind of like, I guess, gave my life to Jesus, or said a prayer, and in that moment, it felt like God was real to me. But I think I didn't really like know God, if you know what I mean, and really didn't experience Him until I was a teenager, and then. We had Elam conferences used to be in Prestatyn.
Okay.
Which in Prestatyn, you never wanted to fall down in the spirit because the ground was, it was horrible. It wasn't. But we did a few times. But that was the first time I really, I would say I really experienced the love of God in a profound and powerful way. And it changed my life as a teenager, really. And those moments, like, for me, it just changed my life. And I guess life was pretty good from then. Like I was enjoying life and everything was happy and good. And then I got married when I was in my early 20s, and that marriage ended in divorce a year and a half later. And that was massive then. Do you know what I mean? Like I think my faith changed again then, because I had to, like, there was either like, what do you do in that moment, you know, when everything falls apart and you lose everything, or your life changes completely. But for me, I just experienced God again in just some profound and really, really powerful ways. I think there was one night at City Church, you might have been there, Alan, there was George Muller was speaking, and he prayed to me that night, and man, it was I fell down to the ground like 50,000 volts hit my body.
Wow.
You know, it was crazy. And in that moment, incredibly, a lot of pain went.
Wow.
My feelings went. Like loads of amazing things happened in that moment. And what I wasn't like fixed 100%, you know what I mean? But like God really did something incredible for me.
He dealt with the hurt and stuff.
Yeah, with the hurt and the pain and the feelings towards him and different things. So, you know, that was a real incredible time for me, and changed who I am and made me completely different, because life was quite black and white up to that point as well, you know. And then a crisis like that happens to you. So
I mean, because let's just explore that a little bit, because I was similar. I mean, I haven't been divorced or nothing, but life was pretty black and white, and everything's no, you know. There's no, well, maybe. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And yet some of the life challenges that you hit, or you end up in, you start to see the grey, shall we say, and it does change your outlook and your. Definitely. I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more. It's not necessarily. It is it changes some of your beliefs. It doesn't change your belief in God and things like that, but it changes some of your rigidness and it. What it possibly did to me was soften my heart a bit more towards lots of other people.
Yeah.
often not myself. Often I'd be my own worst critic
Yeah.
and pick on myself the most. But I'd have much more grace for other people. That's what it did to me. Because when I was a younger Christian, everything was black and white. And if you did this, you were wrong, and if you did that, you were right. And I wasn't having anything, in between. I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm very much more. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I am, but I'm very much more it's not as simplistic as that.
I think it's like mystery. It's like embracing the mysteries of like the stuff
quote
that
another album you've done,
Yeah, there you go. Little plug.
Did you see how he did that? That was
He's a professional, isn't he?
There we go.
You can get that on Amazon for $3.99.
$3.99.
I'm only messing. That's not low the
Quality
price.
music, this man.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, E. Go on.
Segue,
It's
no.
back
That was.
catalogue,
I mean, that was beautiful. That was so well done. We're in the hands of a pro here.
We are,
It's like he can sense we're not guiding the ship particularly in a
he's-
steady manner. So he's like, let me give
Back
these
onto,
lads a
back
little.
onto script. Yeah, this one.
Go on.
He's on the tour.
Tell us a bit about mystery, E.
No, but I just think like in general, like the stuff we're never gonna understand is there. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I used to think it was, as you say, Alan, it's this way or no way. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
you're
And,
wrong.
like, you're wrong.
Yeah. I was exactly
then-
the same.
Yeah, and then you realise, like, actually, like, especially when something massive happens to you, you go, I haven't got no answers for this.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Wow.
I mean? And then, like, Kate's dad, he died of cancer 10 years ago. And, his story was crazy because he got cancer and he got healed.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he died of cancer. again.
Wow.
So you're like, how do you kind of, there's no answers for that, really.
No. There's no kind of just like pat answer, tick box, And sometimes you'd like there to be in some ways.
yeah, it'd be
We'd
easy,
love
wouldn't
it.
it? It'd be
We'd love
easy,
it if it was right and wrong, and because I don't know.
And I don't think there's room for conversations like this sometimes in church because we're so hardwired.
That's why we'd have them in the pub.
That's
Tom.
why we have them in the pub. That's why we have them down Finnegan's. But just because sometimes we feel a bit awkward, we don't know how to deal with it, or we don't know how to, how to sit in that tension between believing God is good, and there is a God, a loving God, but that also there's suffering, and how do we sit in that tension? I think sometimes we kind of swerve that off, and so what happens then is when people go through rubbish, which heads up,
Everyone does.
everyone does.
Yeah.
When we go through that rubbish, then it feels like sometimes people feel like they either can't be in church anymore, or
because they're not. They mustn't be Christian enough, or
yeah,
something.
or this. Yeah, I don't know what it. But it's sad that, isn't it? Because everything else we've talked about tonight has been like this sense of that actually, when we're going through the worst times, that actually God seems to step in to that situation then. Yeah. But you think that
I think what it's done for me is in fairness, I think it's made my view and theology of God bigger. Where it was all definite and yes and no, that felt more secure and bigger, but it wasn't. This my understanding, and I'm realizing more and more that I can't understand God, but my understanding of God, I feel, is in a bigger and better place. I believe in a God that's more gracious and merciful than I ever thought he could be. And I actually think that's a better place for me to be, even though I feel worse about it sometimes. I feel like I've wrecked it sometimes, I look at our church now and I think to myself sometimes, I've wrecked that church. That used to be a lovely church. Now look at it. Look at it. Do you mean they're sitting on couches talking instead of doing it properly? I tell you. Anyway, sorry, Tom.
no. Well,
I brought it down again there, didn't I?
No. What do you make? It felt like you were going to say something.
No, I think like God's in the suffering.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Jesus died on the cross. Do you know what I mean? Like so God's in the pain and the suffering, and I think when you go through those times, I think you experience God in a different way, and I think like God never promised it was going to be easy, did he? But he said, "I'll be with you always," and I think that's my experience, is that even in them really difficult times, God's been with me. And
I think the Psalms reflect that Christians from the past. If you read the Psalms, most of them are like kind of like, "Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? I'm in the entry." Have you seen that one?
Is this an old?
No, this is a new one. This is a meme.
Oh, okay.
You should be all over memes, you shouldn't you? Hey, meme boy.
Sorry, I thought this was some old comedy or something.
You? I'm in the entry.
Is that a Scouse meme?
Yeah, you need to see it.
Okay,
you need.
right.
It's dead funny. It's some fella looking for something I won't talk about. But and
someone sent me the Scouse after we did Gladiator with Mark Williams. Someone sent me the Scouse Gladiator.
The
that was hilarious.
One, yeah. Well, this is another meme. It's a fella. He's looking. I think he's looking to pick up his drugs or something like that. But he's like, "Where are you?" And he's going, "I'm in the entry." It's just dead funny. Yeah, you need to watch it. Anyway, sorry.
Great.
Again, I brought it down tonight.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's just been good tonight. That's been so good. I was just seeing some of the comments come in that I just wanted to highlight.
Let's
because really good. Dawn's watching. Dawn's a previous nugget of the week. She said, "You guys help. I've broken my hip, but I feel positive listening to you guys. So thank you, Dawn. Bless you."
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about your hip. Mikey said, "How does Jesus walk on water but not leave footprints in the sand?" Doesn't add up if you ask me.
Well, hang on a minute. How does Jesus walk on water but not leave? But shouldn't he have said?
Oh no!
But
he did say that. Sorry. How does Jesus walk on water but does leave footprints in the sand?
There you go.
There you
yeah,
go.
no, that's a good.
That's funny.
Point. Well made, Barbera.
Well made by the priest.
Yeah,
very good.
Of course, he's an Anglican, and he knows the rules.
He knows it all.
Knows it all. Yeah.
Mandy says this is a cheery pub. She's but only kidding. I have panic attacks too, and so it's nice to chat together. I love it when we go a bit deeper on Finnegans.
Yeah,
I do, and that's what always happens in the pub, innit?
Yeah.
Because you think you start with the light and fluffy stuff, but then you get down to the meat of it, don't you?
Yeah. I've had people who like give me stick all the time. It's always telling me jokes. I go on a Monday night to meet a few of my mates from school, basically, and I've buried a couple of them since, so that's how I got back in touch. And I go on Monday night and we have a bit of a laugh, and but it also leads to some really poignant moments. I had one fella, I won't say. No, I better not say it because some of them might be watching. But anyway, I better not. Yeah.
I've left you now, haven't I? All right, thanks, mate. That was fun.
Hanging there, yeah, no.
Do you know what? There's a lot of love for Steve Yates as well. When I started getting into the Brummie accent, wow.
Yeah, mate. All his mates are watching. Yeah. Do you think I'm stupid? I knew all his mates would be watching
tonight. Let's hope the Christians, Tom, because otherwise you might be in a bit of trouble, mate.
Do you know what? Cancelled by Jesus.
I'm doubling down. I think the Birmingham lot are weak.
Which is the worst accent? Come on, then. Which is the worst accent?
Not you. You're a big fella. You're 6 foot.
You're about 8 foot.
5.
You're like a totem pole. You're that big. He's getting bigger.
He is. We said this at the beginning. He is the only person who's growing as he ages. Like, well, obviously we all grow to a point. But you're 4. How old are you now?
41.
41. Still growing.
How old are you? 36.
37.
37.
Yeah.
I'm 55.
Never
win.
Mind. You win.
Soon be dead.
Yeah, that's it.
Cheer up.
No, I mean, I feel like Scouse.
Which is the worst accent? Then come on, people write in. Who's the worst accent? I'd like to know now that you've kicked the ball off, saying the Brummies are the worst. I think the Brummies is a nice sort of softish accent. Nice.
Are you mental?
I think it's better than no offense, Tom, but I think it's better than yours.
All right. Okay,
what do you think, Alan? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think they're like the friendly, aren't they? It's a friendly accent above Brummie accents.
Yeah. Okay.
You want them to be your mate, don't you?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Come on.
But
I want a Brummie mate.
I don't. No, I'm only messing. I'm only messing.
You won't be able to go to Birmingham ever again.
Why would you? Why would you go? Why would you go?
Hey,
wouldn't. But is there some would people in Birmingham think that they sound different to people in Dudley? Is that like?
I think
they will be slightly different.
Slightly different. Slightly worse in Dudley, would you say? Or
I couldn't possibly say, Tom.
He's trying to get you.
I know.
He's trying to get you to make a comment to like alienate half your audience.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that because you live in Dudley?
I bet you've done a conference in Dudley though, or two. There's that church, isn't there? There's a conference church in Dudley.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've done.
You haven't.
I've not. I've been. They won't let me.
I've got some friends in the church in Dudley.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well,
shout out.
There you go.
Hope they're not watching.
Yeah.
No. Do you know what? As this is a safe space.
Safe space. Yeah.
And it's.
I hate that saying. But carry on. Safe.
It's not
safe at all, is it? As soon as you say something, everyone's thinking, What an
Here we
idiot.
go. Yeah. All right. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to
No,
say
go
it.
on. Go on.
No.
No, come on.
Right.
You can't do that. I know I just did it, but you can't.
So when I was younger,
Yeah.
I thought I did have a thing that I thought, I'm not sure about the Scouse accent.
I bet you did. That's because you're a Tory.
No, not a Tory.
No. I know I said on Sunday you wasn't, but that was so people would stop abusing you in the streets. Right? I'm trying to have you back because you're a friend of mine, even though you're still a Tory.
But now you're giving it to me again.
But so
anyway,
you've probably had a picture of Margaret Thatcher on your wall.
no.
You did. You did. In a little blue suit
That'd
and
be
a
really
little
weird
handbag,
for
didn't
a
you?
teenage lad to have a
It
picture
would
of
be
Margaret
really weird, but I
Thatcher on
wouldn't
the
put
wall.
it past you.
Right, here we
Yeah.
go.
Who's talking? Get us off
Mandy
this
said,
subject. Is that Mark?
Mandy said, there, but for the grace of God go I. Struggle with, she struggles with the grey at times as well, which is totally fair and honest. Is it a little bit about, Laura says, is it a little bit about getting older? I feel I get less certain about things as I get a bit older, but in a weird way, I feel more faithful. Yeah, interesting.
I think so. I think that's right. I get less certain about things like standing.
But is there
Getting out of a couch.
Is there a, because as you experience, because when you're younger, things are black and white, feel a bit more clear and obvious. But as you get older, things become, you experience things differently in life, or you have
stuff
different
happens, doesn't it, to you
that
you then
weren't part of.
You can't make sense of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know a bit of Ian's story, and things happening, and you can't make sense of it. It doesn't fit with your rigid, this is right, this is wrong world. And so you have to, it makes you change. You're forced to adapt to that. And even if you're the one who's done something or it's been done to you, it's still the same. I think as the more you live.
But then that, in that though, isn't it? It feels like more, then when you can say, God, you've never failed me, that's not just a platitude, is it? That's got teeth to it. Then that's a lived experience rather than just being we're happy clappy singing this and it doesn't really. And that's where I think it can connect with people.
I think that's where it definitely connects with people. I think that's what we've probably been guilty of in the past, not doing that enough. We've almost put that veneer on of brilliant, like shiny, happy people holding hands kind of thing. But we've put that veneer on of perfection. And then when it falls apart in people's lives, that's when they disengage with church, because then they feel that there's something wrong with them. If you get what I mean. You're looking at me like
sorry, I've read one of the comments and it made me chuckle, but you're saying something quite profound, so I wanted to roll with it.
So it made them feel, and I think this is a lot of why a lot of people have left church over the years, because they felt they couldn't do that. But actually, none of us could. It was all a pretense. That's what I started to find. It was all a pretense. And it was like the Emperor's New Clothes, you know that? That's another old reference. Do you know that one?
I know.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, okay. It was that, and actually what's happening now, like singer-songwriters like Ian and that are calling it out in a way, in a good way. I don't mean it in a bad way. And you're not doing that to bring the house down.
No.
You're bringing it to bring a reality to some of the struggles people have had in their faith journeys. Do you get what I mean? So Hats off to you, mate. Hats off to you.
Very good.
Giving it a voice, you know?
It's important.
Yeah.
Craig says life starts at 55, Alan.
Thanks, Craig, mate.
Yeah. Mandy says, Alan, you've reached a shrinking age now.
Oh, that's why he mightn't have grown, I might have shrunk.
That could be the thing.
I did say that. I said I might have shrunk,
Tao said Tory Tim's accent is sickening.
Tory Tim. That's Tim Brown.
Sorry about that.
He doesn't know the story.
I've heard of Tim Brown's Nuggets. So we go fantasy football, isn't it?
That's him. Yeah. We never mention fantasy football, Tom. That's because you're below me. You wouldn't want to show the table, would you? You're scared, aren't you?
You do fantasy football. You're a blue, but so you're not really into your football, or
doesn't quite get it, does he?
I should have done it, but I did it. My son did it actually, so so he's got my email address on it. But
has he? Which your eldest?
Eldest Jackson, yeah. He was doing well, but he slipped down a bit.
Is that because he's forgotten to update? Because my son's pretty hot on it, but then when he forgets, he falls away.
Which you used to do every year
I
till
used
last
to do.
year.
And the first year I didn't do that, I beat you.
Well, that's the first year you've ever beat me. Let's just put it that way as well.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes Liverpool win the league. There you go.
What's that? This is your mum's messaging now.
Is it? She's
saying?
probably saying it about
Alan sent where you on WhatsApp. I don't know what your mum's
Alan
saying.
sent where you, on WhatsApp.
Were you on WhatsApp?
What are you on about, mother? Have you been drinking again?
Do you know, I wondered where Alan got his lack of ability on the technology.
She'll be fuming at you now in a minute.
He's brave, isn't he?
She'll be fuming at you in a minute, Tom. She'll be down that shirt tomorrow. You won't have to hide from Tal.
If you could make...
She'll say in a minute, hey, that's my lad. You
I
leave
know,
him
well,
alone.
that's what she normally says when I give Alan banter. She says, that's my
only
lads.
banter,
That's
Mum.
my lads, don't worry. And Mikey
I don't know
settled
what
it.
you were saying, but
I don't know. Tell us again, Linda. Tell us again. And Mikey said the worst accent, without a doubt, we can all get on board with this, is Mank.
I think we're all all right with that.
Like,
Ian's still staying quiet because he's got some fans
in
Manchester.
He's very diplomatic.
Got to keep them.
He's very diplomatic.
Keep them on
It's
board.
not black and white, boys.
Yeah.
Very good.
Fab.
People have just got into that. People are going into Wolverhampton. They're not liking Wolverhampton. Wow.
It was that advert, wasn't it? We want to be together. Yeah. It was that one that sort of highlighted the accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's happening?
It looks like I've angered a whole.
You've angered the whole of Birmingham.
I've angered a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So I'm just
well,
gonna.
what's new? Hey, see, I told you, the smiley face. Yeah.
Here we go. Tal said, "Oh, it's kicking off." Tom's had half a pint and he thinks he's dead hard.
This usually happens, Tal. Honest. Literally.
Do you know what? I feel a little bit nervous now. I thought this was a safe space. I thought we were doing therapy and I've overstepped the mark.
Yeah, well, you can always stand up in front of group again, can't you? Next week and say sorry.
Right. Okay. So, Ian, if people want to hear your music, where they can get hold of it?
Yeah, like Apple Music, Spotify, all the usual places.
If they want to buy old school,
if they want to buy an old
like
school
me,
CD,
well, my mother, my mother likes CDs.
Oh, brilliant.
So she likes Ben Hay now, though.
Okay.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan. So if you ever meet him, tell him for her. She loves him. I got something. Yeah. I don't even know the words.
Where can they get your CDs?
Where can they get one?
www.ianyatesmusic.com.
Yeah, and they can buy them on there and
buy them on there.
Okay, that's
fantastic. Definitely check him out on Spotify.
Or write something funny on here and you might get them.
Yeah, you might. Well, yeah, there's still a chance to win that.
Still chance.
Okay, your mum's trying to make sense of it.
What are you doing now?
The video of where? Oh,
hang on. The video of where are you? Oh yeah.
Okay, all right, go on.
I'm in the entry. It's that one. She's talking about that.
Oh, she's half an hour behind.
You, lad?
She's half an hour behind.
Where are you, lad?
Okay.
I'm in the entry. Yeah, you gotta.
So she sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Oh, she sent me it on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
We'll watch it
afterwards.
We'll watch it after, Linda.
Yeah. It is funny though, isn't it, mother?
Yeah. And then I love the daughter-in-law's saying. Linda was referring to the "Where are you" in the entry meme, so she's sorting it out. She's clarifying. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, fantastic. I definitely recommend listening to Ian's stuff.
Yeah.
Check him out on Spotify, Apple Music. Ian, I've got a bit of what are we doing next? Here we go. Ian,
this is the time.
We're going to play Finnegan's Fortunes, okay?
Fantastic.
So if you're listening at home, each week we play Finnegan's Fortunes, which is a similar format, if not identical.
Well, this was the original.
This was the original.
This was the original, obviously, and then they plagiarised it. You know, like Tom's Top Tips.
Yeah.
People are always stealing your.
They are.
Your
That's
tips,
the same with this. And so, Ian, what it is Finnegan's Fortunes. If you get all of the answers correct,
there's 6 of them.
There's 6 of them. Then you get to take something home from church merch. Okay.
Just that behind you.
So if you look behind you,
a bottle guitar there, merch, mate. Church
Mother
merch.
Teresa looks good as well.
Yeah,
that's
Mother
it.
Teresa. There's a guitar with no strings, but I'm sure you can make that sing.
Oh,
you know, so
it's a good guitar.
There's a clock there.
What's the guitar? What's the name on the guitar? What does it say at the top? Doesn't does it?
Smith.
See, there you go. It's Martin Smith, who's lead singer.
Meant to be. Lead singer. It's meant to be.
That could be yours.
That could be yours.
Tonight.
So
big teddy bear in the corner. Please take that. We can't play pool with that there.
Finnegan's Fortunes. Here we go. And the question is. Question is,
we asked 100 people.
We asked 100
Shall I do
people.
it?
Go
We
on.
asked 100 people to name the biggest bands of all time.
100 people to name the
100
biggest
people.
band
Biggest
of
bands.
all
Don't forget,
time.
we asked them in our secret location, which is really close to Netherton.
Yeah.
Okay. But we asked 100 people the biggest bands of all time. Who do you think they said? Come on, you'll
Give
be
us a
giving them
shout at home.
giving them a thing.
Give them a little bit of clue. But, hey, where would you go first of all?
Beatles number 1, surely.
You don't have to get them in order, but you just
wow,
have to say them.
he's taking it to another level
But in
there.
fairness,
He said the
We are in
Beatles.
Liverpool.
he said the
We are in
Beatles.
Liverpool.
Our survey said.
There it is.
Has he stopped listening now? Has he got his earphones?
I've got my earphones.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one
yeah.
answer.
Number
you
one.
You were spot on.
Top answer, that.
Spot
Top
on.
answer. So, do you have any other up the
Yeah,
sleeve?
got a few. Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
okay.
Singer-songwriter.
Okay,
Confident. I like that.
You know, he's probably gigged with them.
He probably has supported him. So, who are you going for next?
Queen.
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 Let's have a look. You'd think Queen would be up there. Big band.
Big band Queen.
What songs did they do? We Will Rock
We
You.
are the champions. Sam,
We
you
are the
want to
champions.
song that? You're all right.
Queen.
Queen.
Can you
I
believe
can't
it?
believe that's not there myself.
I can't believe that.
Who did you ask?
100 people just walking past your house.
My house.
Yeah, it took me hours. No, really slow.
Really slow day,
You
man.
do know they're one of the most streamed bands in the
I know.
world. They're like,
We do, yeah. We do know
top-
that.
I would have
we
thought
do our
Queen.
research, you know. We.
I would have said Queen if you'd asked
I
me.
would have said Queen myself, but no one asked me.
Have you got another one in the locker? Do you want me to ask people at home? What are you thinking, E?
I'll give you a couple more.
Go on.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, the biggest band of all time. They were pretty big.
They were pretty big back in the day.
No.
But not round here.
Not round here.
Not around here. E, I'm going to get you
We're
some
going to have
help.
to get you some help.
Let's have a look.
'cause you're
Okay, let's
struggling
see
here.
what people are
You've got
saying.
5 to get and you've only got 1 life left.
Do you know what people were going for Queen?
Yeah,
There we go.
well, I would have Beatles. Someone
Emma, U2,
You too.
Kathleen, Stones,
Ooh.
Mel, U2. Don't know 100 people.
You two don't know.
Ba-dum-bum. Very good. Ian Yates band is what they should have said. That's what Mikey said. Queen, Coldplay, Miriam, good shout. Take That from Emma, One Direction, Pink Floyd.
Oh.
Pink Floyd.
That's right.
Craig Staples, Genesis. Laura Ferguson on next week. Spice Girls.
She's funny, isn't she?
She is funny. Rose Faith was Spice Girls. Emma, the Eagles. Pink Floyd, the Eagles. Ian Yates, Led Zeppelin. What are you going for? Oh wow, there was a few pulled out there. You need this one, otherwise there's no
the next
chance.
3 I would have said. I would have gone ABBA, Coldplay, and U2. They would have been
The next 3.
So you need to
Next
pick
3.
one of them at least.
Tough decision. What are you going to go for?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Pick one of them 3. Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. You said
Not good at reading.
Okay, Pink Floyd.
Pink
Is
Floyd.
it there?
It's
Hey, he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
But it Netherton, lads. Of course it was
You,
Pink Floyd.
Of course it was.
Absolutely.
I think you said if Pink Floyd wasn't one of those, you'd kick off.
I would have. Because they're my favourite
One of
band.
your favourite bands
Ever.
of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, my favourite band, Pink Floyd. Yeah.
What are you going with next?
Oh, I do like Genesis as well, Craig.
What are you going to go with next, D?
They're not on the list.
He's giving me a little heads
clue
up
there for you.
Led Zeppelin sounds good as well, but
Led Zeppelin.
Wait a sec.
Ooh, wait a sec. Tom's wrecked it.
Thomas
So
Rush.
he's trying to. So me and you need to like fill here a little bit. So you're thinking Led Zeppelin? Name a song by Led Zeppelin.
I'm under pressure.
Yeah. And she's buying a stairway.
Oh goodness!
Yeah.
How did he still want to be a worship leader after he heard you do that?
Can I go
Have
with
you heard some of
Coldplay?
them worship leaders?
Oh, do you know what? You're going to go with Coldplay.
Hang on. Stick with your first answer. That's always the rule in a quiz, isn't it?
Okay, if you say so, Alan.
So who are you going for? Because you give me
Oh, the
6.
pressure's on. The pressure's
Yes,
on.
it feels like the pressure is on. Who do you want to go
Can
for?
I go
mate?
for Coldplay?
Coldplay?
No,
Okay.
is that a bad move?
No, mate, you go for what you want to go. If I can make it work. Here we go. You said Coldplay. Our survey says
You can lead a horse to water, can't you? But you can't make it drink.
Okay, let's see.
I literally said, say Led Zeppelin.
I like that you stuck to your gunsy and that you weren't, you weren't
Easily
being swayed.
influenced. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick to your
play.
guns.
You're out, like.
Yeah.
I've got to keep that teddy bear.
Yeah. Think of the songs you could have written on that guitar.
Yeah. Imagine.
Could have been.
Imagine.
That one's
You
been
and Martin
written.
Smith.
That's already been written. Imagine.
Hey!
Thank you. I think I should win Ian's album for that. Should we look? What was up there? What was up there that you could have had?
Well,
you could have had.
There was obviously Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Rolling Stones
Rolling
in
Stones.
at 2. Well done at home if you got that one. Beach Boys at 4.
Who said Beach Boys?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Did you bump into an American contingent somewhere?
Good band, the Beach Boys.
Boy, Beach Boys were all.
Led Zeppelin 5. You would have liked
Led Zeppelin, yeah. I like that.
And finally 6. U2.
U2.
I would have said U2, yeah.
Yeah.
About 8 people in the chat said U2.
They
There was
were.
a bit of a clue there. We kept saying U2, U2.
We tried to help he.
Oh,
He,
sorry.
he really didn't want that guitar.
He didn't. He mustn't have
Yeah,
wanted
right,
it. That you threw that on purpose.
Right.
We haven't asked him what this is anyway. Before we go into anything else, what's that?
Go on.
What?
What do you call one of those,
What
E?
you call that? Eh?
It's got to be Nuggets, hasn't it?
It,
Gotta
what
be.
a lad!
It's
What
gotta
a
be.
lad! You don't even have to do your last story now, mate. Tell you.
Redeemed it.
Yeah.
Redeemed it.
What are we up to? We're up to you, aren't we?
Right.
Tom's top tips. It's Tom's top tips.
Just to say, people continue to say that I'm stealing some of these.
I don't believe it.
Dalai Lama. That's
Dalai
the one
Lama.
that's saying. Most people are saying it's Dalai Lama.
He's a snake, him, you know.
He's a ratty.
He's a snake. Honestly, he is.
He's stealing all my best
He's watching
quotes.
this and doing it, I think.
But anyway,
I can't believe we just got into the Dalai Lama.
he's a rat.
If giving people from Birmingham wasn't bad enough,
I know.
we've just literally blasted the Dalai Lama.
It's not a popular opinion, but it's one I hold.
Very good. And we're in the pub, so it's fine.
Well, people were saying if Coldplay were on this list, I'm unsubscribing. That's what people. I mean, Mikey feels very. I love Coldplay.
I don't mind Coldplay.
Great band.
I don't mind Coldplay.
Great bands.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Put a
my
good
top
concert
tips
on.
for today.
What's your top tips,
I've
Tom?
got one here. These ones are silly. I'm not going to do these.
No, you're not. Come on. Straight
All right.
face. Woosah.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Never
Never.
forget
Yeah.
where you've come here from.
Where you've come here from.
Never pretend that it's all real.
Yeah.
Someday soon, this will all be a dream.
Wow.
That's profound, that.
It sounds a bit familiar.
Tom's top tips.
Tom's top
It's
tips.
Tom.
It sounds a bit familiar though, Tom.
Do you want another one?
Yeah. Can you give us another one? Come on.
Whatever I said,
You've
whatever I did,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I didn't mean it.
That's the Birmingham.
Just want you back
again,
for
isn't
good.
it?
Want you
Is
back.
that an apology to the Birmingham? It's the Birmingham City. Hey.
It's
Hang
good.
on.
It's good advice.
That sounds like. This sounds like you're singing. You're
I'm
quoting.
not singing.
You're
I'm just
quoting.
quoting myself.
Take that songs.
No, that's my stuff. That.
What are you saying? They took it off you.
Yeah,
Take that. Took that off you.
they did. Take that. Take that.
Take that.
When did that come out? That one.
I don't know. Was it 92 or somewhere
92.
around then?
7 hours.
7?
Yeah.
You were a genius at 7.
I know.
I know he started playing at 5 or whatever he said before.
7 I wrote that.
7, you should have got together, you pair. Imagine what you've been Simon and
could have done-
Garfunkel by now, wouldn't you?
What do you think?
Could have changed the world, mate. Couldn't it?
Bright eyes.
But I would have lived in Birmingham then.
And you wouldn't have talked to him
You wouldn't have, yeah.
because he's part of the Red Wall, Tory Tom.
All right, let's move on. This has really cheered me up tonight. I think I've maybe made some friends. So that'd be good. So Ian, what happens at the end, and then we let you go home, is that we basically get you to tell a story, and if the story's good, people at home vote. They say,
Get him on the wall, lad.
get him on the wall, and that means
Brilliant.
you are VIP member.
Come to Finnegan's anytime you want.
Come to Finnegan's whenever you are. Do you know what? I've just had a thought. If Ian's in, not open mic nights, acoustic nights where Ian performs.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We're having a special at Christmas.
Having a Christmas special, aren't we?
Yeah.
So that would be amazing, wouldn't it? That's a real plus.
We've also got an announcement to make for that after. Remind me. Yeah.
Well, one at a time. But sadly, Ian, and this hasn't, I always tell guests this, and this hasn't happened yet, but if it goes badly,
you get
barred. And what happens, that's basically you have to leave.
Yeah.
And we call in Ian Doddridge with his streamer, and he takes you out.
And if you'd seen Ian Doddridge with one of them ribbons,
you'd run.
You would run. Yeah.
You'd run. So we're like, how are you feeling about that? It's a pressure situation, isn't it?
It's very, very.
It's between the joy and the sorrow, isn't it?
Oh,
stuck there, man.
Nice. Catchy. Want you back for good. It could still happen. Album number 7.
You could be like Elton John and his writer. They're not in the same place.
They're not.
No, they do it in different places.
He's dead, isn't he?
Bernie Taupin.
Oh, is it Bernie? Is he alive still?
He's alive, Bernie Taupin, I think. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Very good.
You just want everyone to die, don't you?
Here you go. Laura says, does a VIP membership secure you an invite to Finnegan's Lock-In? In fact, VIP membership does secure you an invite to the Christmas party.
It does, yeah.
Christmas special, Laura. Christmas so you'll be wanting to know that for next week. And so, let's go for it, mate. Let's
no
crack on with this story. You'll be fine.
This story is about a mutual friend, actually.
Yeah. Oh,
Pete
nice.
Smullen.
Pete,
legend. Right, yeah. We've had him on.
He's the small meister.
Yeah. So he, to be fair to him, does a fantastic Robbie Williams impersonation on national TV.
Yeah. So
he does a good Bon Jovi impersonation.
No,
on a prayer. Yeah.
Does he?
Does he?
Oh, well,
I mean, this Christmas special is shaping up to be fantastic, isn't it? Because he's on. Pete got on the wall. There you go.
He's on the wall, Pete.
We'll get him to do Bon Jovi. Okay, go on. Tell us. We're always game for a story about Pete.
In like 2010, 2011, when I made my first album, the record company gave me this flip cam. Nice. It never really took off, but like they were like a little kind of device that filmed things back in the day. Anyway, Pete worked with my wife Kate at White Kids. White Kids I mentioned again, and she must have took it into the office one day, and Pete and a few friends who had formed a boy band.
Wow!
At that point, which is interesting. They found this camera and decided to leave a message for me. And then record a song.
Wow.
So that's what they decided to do. And there's a little video to show you what happened.
Let's have a little look.
Hopefully it's okay.
And what happened? Did you then just send it in not knowing that? And
I just looked at the camera.
Oh, you've seen it before. You sent it in. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Let's have a look.
Hello, Ian.
No, we've been told that this is the world famous,
not Ian Yates, but the world famous
camera.
Flip camera. We just wanted to send you a little message from Trendy MB.
From his number one fan.
What is going on?
We want to say tonight, Ian, don't let anyone else know, but I'm dedicating my performance to you. So you just feel it, and if you feel it, why don't you just grab your guitar?
Is that the Adele song?
No, that's not Adele. That's for the new fiance that's engaged now. You know, but no, Trendy MB.
Trendy MB.
For who you are to the famous, world famous.
Let's see it. Oh wow.
But because of who you are.
Oh. He's done an Alan.
Pete, what's up? What's up? Let's bring it on, lad.
Wow. Did that make it to the promo for your first album, mate? Is that what happened? That should have trendy
bonus track. Trendy MB.
What does the MB stand for?
Trendy MB.
Trendy MB.
No idea.
People look young in that video,
we'll have to ask
they?
Peter. He might be watching, Pete.
People did look very young.
They did. Because, one of them's a vicar now, at least.
At least one of them is a vicar.
One of them was a vicar
terrifyingly.
Two.
Two of them in that were vicars, were they? Yeah. Wow.
And Pete, to be fair, well played, Pete.
Yeah. He's good for a laugh, Peter.
He is, isn't he? Well, I think let us know. I think there's.
Yeah.
I think
let us know.
Let us know. Does Ian make it onto the wall?
Is he?
Let us know. Here we go. Good old casting crowns. Casting crowns. Love a bit of casting crowns.
Casting.
Here we go.
Casting.
He's like, I feel like
Tim Brown. Tim Brown.
Do you know what? I think I made the mistake of opening the door to like the accent.
Well, you have, haven't you?
And
haven't you?
I'm very much.
He literally, every time we go to snooker hall, right, we go up there, and he's the one who's the member there.
Yeah.
So he goes up and he goes, all right, we'll have a pool table, mate. And they go, yeah, what name? And he goes, Tom Grant. And they go, Tom Brown.
That's why this is why people call me Tim Brown, because without fail people say when I say Tom Grant, people say Tim Brown round here. So like
but you say Newgard as well, don't you?
What it genuinely feels like is that Alan's gone round to all these people and just say, just call him Tim
Literally
Brown.
haven't. Honestly, it's dead funny because they all do it. It's so funny. And we haven't, I can honestly say we never primed them once. Honestly, brilliant. Just dead funny.
Let's have a look.
Never gets old.
Get him on the wall.
Get him on the wall.
Get him on the
lad.
wall from Laura. Get him on the wall. Wall from Kathleen. Okay, here we go.
Miriam says,
Here we go.
No, she doesn't.
Mandy says,
she said, get him on the wall, I think.
Mandy's Googled your condition and she said dizzy spells could be the start of menopause. And we have our winner. That is Nugget of the Week right
Mandy,
there.
smashed it.
Smashed it.
Oh, does that mean I can be grumpy as well, yeah?
Yeah, get him on the wall. Get him on the wall.
Get him on the wall, lad.
Very good. Em says, think Ian, you've been a fantastic guest. Loving
fab.
the new album too as well.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the wall.
He was on Emma's album, wasn't he?
He was on
Guest-
it.
guest-
Mate, you smashed
guest
that
on,
on Emma's album
album
as well.
Yeah. Big thank you
Did
for
a
that.
really good
I'm sure
job.
you're saying.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Yeah. Very good. Right, can I write his name on the wall now?
Go on.
E, that's with one eye, is
I
it?
made it, yeah.
There we go.
What do you mean with one eye? You taking the mickey out of me? Are you taking the mickey out of me again?
Wouldn't that be great if your name was Ian?
My middle name is Alan Ian
with,
Finnegan.
with one eye.
With one eye.
There we go.
He's not Scottish. That's the Scottish way with the other eye in, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. I've done a
He's
little
not
music.
Scottish.
A little
He's from
music.
Birmingham. You know that place you don't like?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that place.
There we go. With a little. I thought I'd spell it wrong then. It's okay.
EBJMI or whatever you should have put. Found a member.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Mandy, I am going to get you a copy of Ian's new album, Between the Joy and the Sorrow, and also Mystery. This is the one beforehand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anyone else you think we've got two copies?
Have
Is there
we?
anyone else you think?
There was
who's
one
stood
earlier
out to you?
that I can't remember. You did put it up. It was quite funny. I can't remember who it was now, though. We'd have to look back.
I don't know. This is why I never asked you.
I know.
It's just a waste of time.
What's the point in asking
You
me
can't
anything?
remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
No, can't remember.
Has your mum got a CD player in the car?
She's got a CD player, Ben Hay now and all that. She'd love
Let's-
it. She'd
let's
stop
get
her
her
listening
in
to
there.
that.
We'll get
give
her
it to
in there.
Linda just because she can't spell.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Ian, mate, we really appreciate you coming on. You've been fab. Thank you so much for joining in with us and being willing to have a
We've
laugh.
got our Christmas special on the 14th of December, which is nearer than you think.
So it is. Do you know what? It is really near.
That was just me telling him we need to organise
We haven't
this.
organised this at all, other than we've put the date in the diary, believing that it's going to happen.
Yeah, if book it, they will come.
That's it. And so if you are in the Northwest and you want to come to our Christmas special, keep an eye out because we'll be letting you know how you can get tickets to that shortly.
Yeah.
And the guest list is looking
amazing.
Smash. There's some great guests.
we
We haven't done
organised
we haven't organised anything yet. But it's going to be great.
It's fab.
It's going to be fantastic.
Fab.
So
Tom Hanks is there and everything.
come and join us for that. We've got some bonus episodes as well coming up. We tried to record one today with Gav Calver, didn't work.
No,
So
but we've got Rob Thomas in the
Rob
camp.
Thomas.
Rob Thomas, King of Bootle.
Very good.
Yeah,
And we're going to
King
get that
of-
one out in the
that-
next
that's
couple of
defo
weeks.
coming out.
And next week is Laura Ferguson.
Yeah, and then after Christmas, this is the breaking news.
Go on.
After Christmas, we're running a stand-up comedy course, right?
Wow. Okay.
So from we're penciled in at the moment on the 12th of January, we're going to have a stand-up comedy course for 6 weeks on a Thursday night. Probably be an hour and a half, 2 hours on a Thursday night, and then at the end of that, we're going to have a gig, Finnegan's first comedy gig.
Love it.
And all of them people, if you want to do that, we've had a few people already say they'd love to do that. We're going to give you it free, right? It's going to cost us though, Tom. Right? But we're going. No,
You're not running this course, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm getting Rob Thomas to do it. Rob Thomas, King of Bootle's going to do it, right? So it's going to be, you can sign up for free, but what we're going to ask you to do is to try and get sponsors to then sponsor you, and any of the proceeds after we've paid for the course and the venue and all that type of stuff will go towards the cost of running our community grocery. That's
fantastic.
That's what it's for. It's a fundraiser for the community grocery, but it's a good laugh. It's how Tom started comedy and stopped.
I failed the course, basically. That's what happened. I failed the course. So I couldn't
It's
do
how I
anymore.
actually started as well. But so it's a good laugh. If you've ever wanted to do it, you might never want to be a stand-up comedian, but it might be just one of them bucket lists that you can tick it off. Why don't you come? Give it a go. We need at least 6 people.
Do you know what?
To make it
Josh,
viable.
Josh. I'm not getting a week from last week. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
And also just to say, we talked about mental health and that tonight, and I know that Rob runs these courses for people who are struggling with mental health, and it can be a great way to get out, meet some new people.
It can just give you confidence in front, and even if you never go on to do stand-up comedy again, it teaches you how to use a microphone properly and all this. Instead of doing this, what most people do, with microphones when they're talking. Yeah.
So if you want to come and join that course, then give us a shout.
12th of Jan, let me know. If we need
Drop us a message.
Probably 6 to 10 people on it would be great. And it is a good laugh. You did it. You did
I
it.
did it, yeah.
And not with Rob, but you did it and you enjoyed it, didn't
It was brilliant.
Except for your final performance.
No. It's terrifying. I wouldn't do it if I was you, actually.
It is terrifying, but once you've done it, it's the best thing you'll ever do. You'll love it.
All right, fantastic. Well, come and join us next week for another episode of Wednesday Night at Finnegan's.
Yeah. Until
goodbye
then,
from Ian over there.
Yeah, goodbye.
Thanks for being in, mate. And good night from us.
great.
And we
Until
will
then.
see you again next week. Goodbye. God bless.